long before the pyramids of Egypt rose against the desert sky, and before Mesopotamia's kings wrote their names in clay. A mighty civilization thrived quietly along the banks of a great river, a civilization so advanced, so organized, that its memory still echoes beneath the sands of time. This is the story of the Indus Valley Civilization, one of humanity's oldest, yet most mysterious chapters. In 1829, a British explorer named Charles Masson wandered through the plains of modern-day Pakistan. While searching for ancient coins, he stumbled upon strange bricks and walls buried under dust. He didn't know it then, but he had just found Harappa, the first city of a lost civilization that would later rewrite the history of South Asia. Years passed before anyone realized what he had discovered. In 1924, archaeologists began full excavations under Sir John Marshall, and soon another city emerged, Mohenjo-daro, meaning the mound of the dead. When these ruins came to light, archaeologists were stunned, because what they found didn't match the chaos of most ancient cities. It showed order, precision, and genius. Imagine walking through the streets of Mohenjo-daro 4,000 years ago. Broad avenues stretched perfectly straight, intersecting at right angles. A grid system thousands of years ahead of its time. Houses were built with standardized bricks, each one perfectly shaped and measured. Every home had a private bathroom, a flush toilet, and a connection to an underground sewage system, so sophisticated that even ancient Rome, centuries later, would struggle to match it. Some buildings had wind catchers, an early form of air conditioning, and at the center of the city stood something extraordinary: the Great Bath, a massive public pool made of baked bricks, sealed with tar to prevent leaks. Was it for rituals, for cleansing, or recreation? No one knows for sure, but it reminds us how deeply the people of this civilization cared about purity, community, and design. The people of the Indus Valley were farmers, traders, and artisans. They grew wheat and barley, tamed cattle and buffalo, and traded goods with faraway Egypt and Mesopotamia. Their land was rich, fed by the mighty Indus River and the now-vanished Sarasvati. But there's something even more fascinating. They lived without kings or wars. Archaeologists have found no palaces, no weapons of conquest, no monuments of power. Instead, they found equality, a society seemingly built on cooperation, not domination. Each city looked almost identical in layout and construction, as if following one grand design. This suggests a central authority, not of a ruler, but of a collective system, an early form of democratic governance perhaps. Among the ruins, archaeologists found tiny carved stones, seals made of soapstone, engraved with mysterious animals and unknown symbols. On many of these, a strange one-horned creature appears, a unicorn of the ancient world. Over 60% of all seals bear this image. Was it a religious symbol, a family crest, or a mark of trade and ownership? No one knows. The symbols beside them, known as the Indus Script, remain undeciphered to this day. If one day we can read them, we might finally hear the voices of these ancient people, their names, their thoughts, their beliefs. Until then, they speak to us only through silence. Archaeologists have uncovered small statues of women with elaborate jewelry, perhaps symbols of fertility or goddesses of creation. One famous artifact, the dancing girl, a bronze statue barely 10 centimeters tall, shows a young woman standing confidently, hand on her hip, as if she knows her place in the world. Another piece, the priest king, depicts a man in a patterned robe with a calm, meditative expression. Was he a ruler? A spiritual leader? No one knows, but his face still gazes through 4,000 years of history. These artifacts reveal a culture that was refined, artistic, and deeply human. But even the greatest civilizations fall. Around 1900 BCE, the Indus cities began to fade. The once bustling streets fell silent. The trade routes broke down. The people left their homes, and the desert winds took their place. Why did this happen? No one can say for certain. Some believe the Sarasvati River dried up, forcing the people to migrate. Others suggest massive floods or climate change that shifted the monsoon patterns, perhaps overpopulation or decline in trade with Egypt and Mesopotamia. The truth may be all of these combined. Nature's slow but unstoppable hand reshaping the destiny of millions. In the early 1900s, some Western scholars proposed a theory that light-skinned invaders called Aryans had conquered the Indus cities and destroyed them. It was called the Aryan Invasion Theory, but today it's considered false and biased. Modern evidence shows no signs of large-scale battle or destruction. No burned cities. No massacre. The people didn't fall to swords. They faded slowly with time. In truth, the Aryans were likely migrants, not conquerors, who blended peacefully with the local culture. Over centuries, their traditions merged, giving rise to what we now know as Vedic India. Though their script remains unread, their legacy is written in the bricks, the drains, the tools, and the spirit of innovation. The Indus people showed us that civilization doesn't have to mean conquest or monarchy. It can mean planning, cleanliness, equality, and harmony with nature. Their cities whisper lessons that still matter today about sustainable living, urban design, and social balance. 4,000 years ago, they mastered what we still struggle to perfect. As the sun sets over the ruins of Mohenjo-daro, you can almost hear the echoes of children playing in courtyards, of merchants trading at dawn, of artisans carving their seals. They are gone, but not forgotten. For every brick they laid, every street they planned, was a message to the future that humanity's greatest strength lies not in war or power, but in the art of building together. This was the Indus Valley Civilization, ancient, silent, and eternal.